Hey guys, this is Comic and today I'm doing a review for The Walking Dead. So let's start talking about this episode. So with this episode, we get to see, the aftermath of, I guess getting back to the groove of Alexandria after all those walkers came in there, and also the aftermath of Carl, not having his eye now, which wasn't so much of an aftermath as I thought. I thought he'd be like, oh my god, I don't have an eye, but it seemed like he's in total denial. So that's one part of the story, is Carl helping out this girl in the woods. Another part is Michonne helping out, the used-to-be mayor, son, and then the son has to kill his mother, or zombie mother. So those are two kind of the B plots. And then our main plot is the introduction of Jesus, who is supposedly a big comic book character. And we see that Daryl and Rick, they're out to just get some food. They find this big truckload of it. Jesus steals it. Then Rick and Daryl get it back, and then the truck ends up in the water, so no one gets it. But they do bring Jesus back to Alexandria, because Jesus did help out Daryl in one of those moments from not getting killed by a zombie. And in the end of the episode, everyone's kind of relaxing, saying, hey, how's your normal day of the zombie apocalypse? And then you see that Michonne and Rick have some sparks flying by the end of the episode. And Jesus is just a real creep, and he's just like, Rick, we need to talk. Yeah, I know you're naked in your bed, but we need to talk right now. So we'll see how they deal with that in the next episode. And when I think of the total episode, I will say, this was a pretty good, slower episode, because we could say this is definitely trying to slow down the pace from last episode, where there's a lot of shockers that happen. But there's the introduction of Jesus, which obviously gave some story here, which I was happy to see. And they make Jesus' character interesting, that you don't really know his motives, especially if you've never read the comics. I really don't read the comics, so for me, I don't know much about Jesus. Besides, I know he's kind of a big comic book character. So I thought they introduced him pretty well, especially, again, that last scene with him was, him being creepy. But at the same time, do you trust him, do you not? Especially with everything going on with Negan. Is he going to be on Negan's side? I'm interested to see how that goes. So that was definitely the best part. I also like the mayor's son dealing with her death and then trying to kill her as a zombie. Even though we've seen it before, it's always, a cool emotional arc. Even though that character is not that important, it was cool to see. And then Carl, I think they could have done more with him in this episode. Again, he just lost his eye, and you don't really feel like he just lost his eye. It's like, yeah, alright, another day in a zombie apocalypse. But I thought they could have done more with that. Carl dealing with losing his eye, like the psychological aspect of that. And they really don't. Maybe because they've been so hardened in life. But at the same time, you lost your eye. Say something about it. So I was a little upset about that. And also, again, I'm not a huge Carl fan. So some of the scenes in this episode still made him seem stuck up. And that's a part I don't really like about his character. He's a bit cocky and he thinks he's all that. And you kind of see glimpses of that in this episode, of course. So that's probably more the weaker part of the episode. But yeah, what my favorite part of the episode was definitely Michonne and Rick. I was interested in their romance. I think it's cool that they finally are kind of in a relationship. And, something I enjoy about Walking Dead is the theme of family and creating your own family, even if you're not blood related. And I feel like Michonne was kind of already this mother figure to Carl, and now that Rick and Michonne are in a relationship, I'm curious to see where that whole family dynamic will go, as more of a family, again, the four of them, not just a big family of, Daryl and Maggie and all them. I'm interested to see this kind of more intimate family dynamic there. So I thought that was an interesting turn of events and totally made sense, and the build-up was definitely there for those two characters. That was definitely my favorite part. I guess another complaint is that, of course, the pacing of the episode could have been a bit better. There's definitely some lagging moments. And they maybe could have used some of that time for the Maggie and Glenn thing, because we still have been waiting many episodes to kind of see them face to face and talk about what happened throughout this whole season and Glenn being missing. So, or you know, all of us thought he was dead. So it would have been cool if they dealt with that a little. They touch upon it a tad bit in this episode, but hopefully they will take a whole episode to kind of touch upon that, because I feel like this is a story that should have been told already, but they're prolonging it. But yeah, I thought, again, the pacing could have been a little bit better for the episode, but I understand why they needed a slower episode, and I thought Jesus was interesting and had a pretty good, interesting introduction to his character. So those are my thoughts. Of course, next week I'll have another review for The Walking Dead. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there's links from my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.